Often people have had low educational outcomes and have left school early because of their disability, so there are sometimes issues around language and literacy.
I quite often have to meet with training providers to look at how we can make their teaching methodologies or their materials accessible to people with disabilities, because quite often trainers simply don't know any better. They haven't perhaps had any experience with a person with a disability. So I think the onus is on the training provider to make sure that they're doing their best, but it's also a little bit on the person with the disability to make sure that they're communicating their needs. So I can't walk into a training provider and assume that they'll know what alternate format I need. I have to make sure that I really clearly articulate that. If they're not reading what's off the board, I need to make sure that they understand that that's something that I need them to really articulate everything that they're writing onto the blackboard. All of those types of things, I guess, come about from having an open line of communication. So that's a really important part, to make sure that the trainer and the trainee have a really good relationship and that they understand each other's needs.
Imagine you've got a student who, for whatever reason, wants to take up a course that involves nursing, okay? And they have a disability, maybe it's a vision impairment, maybe it's other issues, etc. And they're having trouble reading thermometers, etc. Now, the TAFEs quite often will struggle with those. There are things that can be done, modifications that can be made to help the student out, but quite often the TAFE trainers aren't aware of it.
What I found is they definitely need, especially the teaching staff, like lecturers and teachers and things like that, definitely need an understanding of the person with a disability.
Because of the nature of my disability, I am not allowed to do manual handling, which means I cannot physically transfer, say, a client from their wheelchair to their bed. If a student can't physically or verbally do something for any reason, they shouldn't be penalised and not get their qualification after they've worked so hard for it.
Sometimes a change to small things like having curriculum and materials developed in a format that's accessible to people who are blind or low vision can really make a difference, and I guess seeing them succeed and do well in a course is the best thing I could ever ask for in a job, because it's there's so much gratitude in that.
I think RTOs would benefit from the fact that they'd probably be able to have more access to student placements with organisations, which can also, again, the placement can lead to a job. They can also probably tailor their courses a little bit more to the reality of the workplaces. That might be something that some of the RTOs would really like to do in terms of partnerships. And again, the employers as well would probably like to see that aspect of knowing that this person is going to be able to come into the job and settle in fairly quickly and know what's required of them, etc. So the idea is a very good idea of the partnerships. It's the best way of actually getting everyone aware of what's involved, what's needed, and again, the good prospects that are there. I mean, to me, any employer who hires a person with a disability is showing a number of things. They care about the community, they're aware of the needs of people with disabilities. There's an ethical aspect to it, which is really important. And I think they'd all benefit from it.